Hey, boys and girls, weather report for September 3rd, 2021.
Hey, look who's in the side chat.
Oh, it's a Grr Streams.
It's a party time.
Speed, I forgot to go ahead and put in a link to I know it's a link to his stream, and I know it may be over, but
he ended.
People can get the the address and like and subscribe to his show. And that stream today was called "Gonna Go For It."
No,
gonna
it
run slow.
It was going to run from
slow. He told me to tell you that he was talking about you. So,
yes. Ooh, yeah. I can imagine. Yeah, we were talking about him too backstage because I heard through back channels that you get sexually transmitted diseases if you go on Grr Streams channel.
Oh no!
I have to go get tested now.
Do I need to go get some penicillin or something?
Everybody has to be put into quarantine if you go to that site,
Well, thanks for telling me now.
Yeah, well, okay. So, did you put a link to his? So now the new Grr Streams channel is up and running. So
it's okay because I put a condom in between my Ethernet cable and the jack.
That helps, but that isn't like 100% reliable. I've heard. So,
do you want to put a link out? Dr. Josh is here too. Josh a link or something.
Yes, but anyway, we want to put Grr Streams site in our description so people know what not to subscribe to.
That's right.
Dr. Josh just makes this stream classy because we're a bunch.
Good evening.
We're a bunch of dirty hobos.
Good night. How are you doing?
Yep. We were. I'm trying to find
Josh is probably out walking, so unless it's going to tornado on his head, he might be able to join us and listen along.
Okay, so I'm gonna.
How's your day?
My day is pretty goddamn good.
Good.
Looks like we have some drama.
Why? What drama?
It's right there.
I'm upset with Atheist Junior. He abandoned me.
Damn it.
Atheist Junior. What gives, man? What are you doing?
Those are some awfully deep feelings, Grr. Do you want to come on in here and we can process them together?
Oh,
maybe y'all can have a kind of a digital hug out.
Did we put the stream out in public?
Yes.
Not yet. I don't think. No.
I just did.
I didn't. Do you want to?
There we go.
There we go. Stream out in public. I didn't realize you were going to do that so early.
I'm so confused.
Yeah. Friday night or Friday day dumpster fire.
Friday dumpster fire. It's Dumpster Fire Friday.
So wait. Are you having Snada tomorrow?
I don't know. I got things to do this weekend. I got like real things to do this weekend.
Oh, I see how it is.
Like study endoplasmic reticulum, because I don't know why they curl up the way they do, and that sort of bothers me.
I mean, everything bothers you.
Midnight. If Speed doesn't do it, you should do one. You do pretty good on your streams.
Josh, are you doing today?
Right?
Yeah, sure. What the hell?
I can open up Snap for you guys. So, Dr. Josh, you're going to join us on Sunday at 11 a.m. Eastern time, right?
Right. What is that? You said 10 a.m. real time?
10 a.m. Yeah, Central Time. They call it Central Time because it is the center of the universe.
Center of the world.
Right, Speed.
Yeah.
Dave Neff, first week of school went well. That's good.
By the way, good. Dr. Josh, how you doing?
Great, Neff.
Yes, congratulations to Mr. Neff.
Yes.
Wait, which Neff?
Dave Neff.
Yeah, I know. I was
Yep.
just messing around.
We were just looking at this useful site, Jewish calendar versus Christian literalists.
Useful chart? Yeah, useful
Yeah,
charts.
or useful charts. You didn't
Yeah.
put that. You put useful site. Oh, maybe I put that.
Yeah, I think you did it because I copied it. So,
Okay.
you ever visit that that channel, Dr. Josh?
Is that Matt's channel?
Yeah, I think his name is
He's
Matt.
got, like,
Yeah, usefulcharts.com. Yeah.
3/4 subs or something. Is that the
Yes.
same site?
That's a lot of
Yeah,
subs.
he's a good guy.
Yeah,
Why?
it's a great idea. Great idea. Useful charts.
Yeah, he does a lot of biblical stuff. He also does like some stuff having to do with ancient Near East timelines and king charts. Charts of kings and descendants and empires.
Yeah, Megan and I did a collaboration with him and I think 10 other channels maybe a month ago. Talk about what was the best dynasty in history or our favorite dynasty in history.
Oh yeah, y'all did a tier list or whatever.
Yeah.
And
Yeah,
so
I
he
mean,
did a
we-
tier list, and a
not
lot of people
everybody can
criticized
be
him for it,
right.
so he did another one.
I didn't realize that's why he did the second one.
Yeah.
I started watching a video today with Dr. Francesca cannot pronounce it name.
Stavrakopoulou.
Stavrakopoulou. Anyway, that was pretty. That was very informative and
Yeah, I'm going to
surprising.
start a news channel, YouTube channel called Pronounce Stavrakopoulou, and it'll just be videos about how to pronounce her last name.
Yeah. Yep. Well, is that like a Polish name?
Greek.
Greek. Oh, that's Greek. Okay, Greek. Yeah.
It's extremely Greek.
Yeah. Okay. Well, that's why I can't pronounce it because I'm a Polak. So Bruzenek.
She's got a book coming out. Pre-ordered it, but then they moved it to January or whatever. Called. You'll have to help me, Josh. What's her book called? That she's got.
The Anatomy of God.
The Anatomy of God, taking all the references to foot and hand and.
Oh, have you
and
guys
mouth.
seen her interview on Aron Ra's channel?
Yes, that was a good interview.
Yeah, I was helping Aron with the super chats on that one too. Me and Peter, and it was a really good interview. She's awesome.
Yeah.
And that sounds awesome. There's like a lot of text written about God's junk, so I want to see that part.
Yeah, everybody is going to order that book or download it or whatever, and then just turn to the junk section.
Yeah, that's exactly what I would do.
In fact, you probably should put out a pamphlet or a booklet and just call it God's Junk and just have that section. She could probably make a little bit more money.
So that's matter of fact science episode number 9. That one.
I believe so.
Probably, yeah.
I know it was a matter of fact science section.
Cool.
And of course, their Digital Hammurabi has a great couple of videos featuring her as well.
Yep.
She's got a great accent too. Nice to listen to.
Yeah.
Yeah, we're all Megan and Francesca and I are pretty good friends. So it's been nice. She's been very gracious to come on the channel, and then I said, hey, because Aron messaged me and said, man, I'd love to have her come on my channel. You think you can set something up? So she said, yeah, no problem.
Would you tell her I said hi?
I got to say hi
it
to
just
her.
like that.
Yeah. Hi.
Hyena guy says hi.
Yeah.
Apparently, Aron had been waiting a long time to get that stream, so you definitely helped him out, Dr. Josh.
Yeah, and she's supposed to be coming on the next couple of months. I think she's going on Derek's channel. I feel like I run like I'm a blocker or something. I kind of run ahead. Say, yeah, this person's good, you know.
You're
Well,
a connector.
Very
You
good.
connect people.
yeah, and
You're
if you ever
There
want
you
to,
go.
if you
There
ever,
you
if
go.
you ever want to come on my channel, you know, there's a open invitation.
Absolutely.
If you could bring Francesca with you on Sunday, that would be great. I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding.
Yeah,
I
bring
see what's up.
yourself.
I see what's up.
Yeah. His devious plan. So I linked Aron Ra's video and Dr. Josh's video to that lady, Francesca, in the description. And I did a teaser on the endoplasmic reticulum, a picture for my thumbnail, but we're probably not going to talk about it. But I did put several links in the description to some information about it. Anybody wants to check it. It's also, there's a link to a very interesting site that has a lot of microscopy pictures. And they have like one session that shows you crystallized cheese and what French fries look like on the inside and a bunch of other things. And it's kind of an interesting little site called Magnet or something, molecular. Hang on a second here. For anybody who cares, starch granules in potato tissue, just in case you needed to know that.
Can you pull it up and show a couple of pictures?
I could show a couple pictures.
That's what she said.
I was going to do I was going to do a Your Mom joke with Atheist Jr. Something about Twitter. I can't remember. I better not do it. Anyway.
It's always best to hold back from those.
Yeah, your mom jokes. Yeah.
I mean, if you're ever wondering, should I do a your mom joke? Probably what you want to hold back.
My kids do your mom jokes to me.
Well, I can assure you that Mrs. Junior Senior is a fabulous woman.
Yes. Okay, so here's let's see, what do we got here? Just crystallized cheese proteins. I got a picture of that. Onion tissue, and a thin slice of some prime meat for burgers. And let's see, wheat kernel. That's, you know, they show the whole hamburger and stuff. It's kind of an interesting site. They got a whole bunch of pictures. And the nice thing about it is they have a whole bunch of information about various subjects in biology. And I linked their main page, and I linked, I think, the bit on endoplasmic reticulum. And I want to talk about the endoplasmic reticulum, but the more I look at it, the more I want to talk about it, the more I want to know about it. Like, I don't know why it folds up the way it does. You know, it's all curly. It looks like a bunch of pancakes stacked on the cell. And I don't know why it does that. And I hate it when I don't know something. So I'm going to look further into it, and we're going to talk about it in our Story of Evolution video, probably.
Very cool.
So, anyway, so now I paid homage to the thumbnail. So now we can talk about anything we want. You fall asleep, Dr. Josh?
Incredibly long. I'm sorry.
Do you fall asleep when we start talking about genetics and biology? Or do you care?
No, I just know I'm going to stay muted.
Yep. What were you going to say?
Did you guys catch that incredibly long stream? Whose channel is on Rage's channel last night. I've never seen anything bring the atheist and fundamentalist Christian community together like that guy.
Yeah, other than one theological extremist.
Whose channel?
Rage.
It was Rage's
Yeah,
channel.
the way-
And
Okay.
like when you have Rage saying, "Yeah, John Maddox, that's a great point." You know, this is the apocalypse. You know.
Oh.
yeah, it's all over.
Oh, so that's who the dumpster fire was. It was Maddox. Okay, I get it.
Well, one thing that irritates me is that Matt Powell is always going around talking about his debate with Raging Atheist, which didn't go great for Rage, but he won't debate me. Like, I've asked him more than once to debate me, and he's refused. And just, I find that irritating that, you know, he shows that as a representation of this is what the atheist community is like, or in terms of debates. And I know there's people who can debate him better than that, you know. And also, that video was deceptively edited, the first debate.
Yeah, well, it wasn't a debate, right? It was part of his movie, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, and he deceptively edited it and made it. Yeah, that was really bad. That was kind of like what Ben Stein did to Richard Dawkins and P.Z. Myers back with that movie Expelled. Yeah,
Expelled. Yeah, I remember that.
Expelled is the worst movie I've ever seen in my entire life.
Yeah. So I don't know if I told this story online before, but that's how I got into basically this whole. I got into a forum, and I did 50 or 60, 50 some thousand posts on a forum, on 10,000 of which were on the Richard Dawkins forum. And I got into it because I was in Columbus working at a bank. My son tweeted me or messaged me at like 7:00 at night and said, PZ Myers is at the mall tweeting about being thrown out of he was at the Mega Mall of America, and him and Richard Dawkins tried to go into the premiere showing. They had an early premiere of Expelled at the Mall of America. They tried to get in. They threw PZ Myers out, but they let Richard Dawkins in because if for some reason they recognized PZ Myers but not Dawkins. So PZ Myers was walking around the mall tweeting about being thrown out of the movie, and Richard Dawkins was in the movie watching it. And while they were in the movie, I went out and did my very first post on consciousness, which was embarrassing because I didn't know anything back in 2008. And that's how I got started on this whole thing, which led me to YouTube. So it was PZ and Richard Dawkins and Ben Stein's fault. That's why you guys are plagued with me. So
now on the creationist side, or that's really more like a conservative Christian nationalist side, you have Expelled. Wasn't there a movie called Zeitgeist way back when?
Yeah,
be like the bad atheist movie?
Yeah, I don't know. I think
something like that.
I watched that a hell of a long time ago. And I think I had to rinse my head out. I don't know. Not sure.
That was about like 9/11 and Jews.
Oh, okay.
It was a conspiracy theory movie in 2007.
So about 3 months later, Expelled was released, and I went and saw it at the same theater. And I was sitting there, and everybody was oohing and eyeing the certain parts of the movie, and they were the parts that I would have laughed at. And I looked over and looked around, and I saw all these people, and they all had shiny faces, and they were just lapping this movie up, this Ben Stein monstrosity. And I realized that I was I was like I was totally out of sync with the audience, and suddenly I became afraid that they were going to hurt me. So I got up in the middle of the movie and laughed. I laughed because I was afraid that I was going to laugh at the wrong time or not respond in the right way. And so anyway, I rented it later and watched it on something else because I was afraid to be there. But it was a weird experience. It was a very, very, very fundamentalist audience that I was sitting down with. And Speed of Sound does not like to be in that kind of an audience. I could get roasted alive.
Yeah, that's scary.
It is scary. Yes, very scary. Yeah. That's why I don't go to church.
Hey, Speed, you need to put Grrmania's. Oh, where'd it go?
What?
Oh, Debunking Creationism, Limestone Joe by Orge. He did a really good video the other day, and I would like to see if maybe Jason Torn is interested in setting up a debate with that Limestone Joe here on your channel. But it's in the private chat.
Oh, cool. Limestone Joe.
Limestone Joe. Yeah. But Orge did a great video on that. He needs some recognition for it.
Yeah, Orge does great videos, and he's pretty good at it. So yeah, I'll put it in the description. I'm trying to reach out to George Bond and get him to debate Jason Torn.
Yeah, I'd love to see that.
But I don't think it's going to work. He'll want to do it on SFT's channel or something. So,
yeah, I bet. Yeah,
but we won't do it. We won't do it that way. Those guys can come over here once in a while. Yeah, Jason wants to get into that. So last night I started looking at a book on sedimentation of rocks, and that is an amazing field of study. But I have questions. What's that?
I said, I know what you mean.
Yeah. There is just a ton of physics involved in how particles move in different kinds of fluids, and they consider ice a fluid, a highly viscous fluid, but a fluid. Yeah. And the air and the water, and there are different ways that they line up, and then they form layers, and some are sorted, some aren't sorted. They all have varying kinds of particle shapes, and then they all get compressed into rocks. And I have questions about timing and the chemistry of sedimentation and how metamorphic rocks form, and we might get into that a little bit. But that's going to be my next field of study when I'm 90. I'm going to start on geology. So
yeah, that's a good thing. The third trimester of your life or whatever.
Yep.
I thought that was pretty much settled, wasn't it? I mean, like, so you have a worldwide flood, and we know it happened, 4,400 years ago, so we can just go look, and it's just telling us all about it, right?
Yeah, and it was, and there were so many things happening in that flood that we had so many different kinds of sedimentation that it created all the rock formations that we have, because they can just think of something. I mean, they could just make something up about the flood, right? That accounts for a certain type of sediment. But I mean, we have all of these different kinds of sediments and different kinds of sorting and different kinds of particle size and all of that. And I guess that all happened within a year, because the flood was, like sometimes it would calm down or be smooth waters, and the sediment would fall out just naturally. Other times there would be tsunamis that were 700 feet high. And the whole time there's this wooden boat floating on top of all this chaos. But yeah, it makes a lot of sense from the young Earth creationist model that we would have.
It's already been established. Dr. Hovind established it in his DVD number 1, obviously.
Obviously, yeah. Yep. I think you could lead them to one little rock formation in Washington, and you could blow their whole world apart, basically, by just looking at one thing with Nick Zentner out in Washington.
Yeah. He's still making videos.
He did.
I haven't had a chance to sit down and watch through them, but you'll learn a lot about rocks and formations in Washington State from him.
Yep. I just watched one with serpentinite or serpentine, I think it is. It's a kind of green rock.
Serpentinite, yeah.
Yeah, or serpentine is the mineral, and it's named after snakeskin, because it's green and kind of looks like snakeskin. And anyway, there's a whole huge mountain of it out there. It's a certain kind of volcanic eruption, and that was pretty interesting. And he was on a trip. Hello, secular pagan mom. Okay, boys and girls, I'm out of shit.
Yeah, really. Come on. Bring up something. What do our storm spotters out there on the side chat have to say? Come on in, Jay. Come on in, Grr.
Hi, Danny.
Hey, I wanted to respond to Grr since I'm banned from chat for God knows what reason. Yeah, Grr.
Banned from where?
Chat?
Dapper Dino?
Me.
Banned from Dapper Dino's
I wanted to respond to Grr saying, yes, I think I'm funny, but I couldn't do that in chat because I was banned from chat, so I'm responding to him in voice.
Oh, well, where's your... Okay, yeah, the thing is, I've banned so many of your sock accounts, I wouldn't know which one to unban.
Just unban them all.
That would take a long time.
No.
You can read the paragraph of his reticulum paper.
I have like 300 left, Speed. You might as well unban them all.
Well, go ahead and use another one then, and okay, name it something wonderful.
Okay, I just have to. It's only a little bit inconvenient, but I'll have to get a couple tabs open.
How about Danny Weenie?
Grr thinks that I'm funny, so
That's fine. I'll get it. I'll name it Danny Winnie.
Okay. And we'll leave that one unbanned. I mean, hell. So what do you do? Sit around all weekend and create sock accounts?
A couple years ago, I for some reason that I'm not going to divulge, I needed like around 1,000 Gmail accounts.
Okay, isn't there like a law? I mean,
I don't know. Probably.
I don't think so.
I mean, you think you'd run afoul of the law at around 100 sock accounts? You know,
Well,
you
I
think
didn't
so?
create them. I bought them a long time ago.
You think the FBI would be asking you some
Well, they
questions?
haven't caught me yet.
Okay. Well, they haven't asked me about you. Yeah. So.
Atheist Junior, apparently you've lost
Oh,
all
anyway, okay.
of your humor.
Danny, you were gonna respond to something.
Oh, I wanted to say, yeah, I think I am funny, and that was in response to Grr because I trashed him in the comments.
Yeah, Grr, Danny says he is funny. What do you want to say to that?
Yeah, Danny is funny.
I wish we had I wish we could throw chairs in a stream.
Yeah, seriously.
Then we'd be just like, who's the guy? I can't remember.
Jerry Springer.
Springer. Yeah.
And then at the end, Speed can do his final thought.
That's right.
Yeah.
Those deep final thoughts.
Deep thoughts.
Well, I know you mentioned that David P. Neff went to his first week of school, but
awesome.
The reason that he was able to do that is because Erica did her fundraising stream for him. I mean, I assume. So I just think she deserves credit for that because that was a selfless thing to do. But that's just the type of person that she is.
Yeah, he'd come so far, trying to go to school, and then it was just a few $100s short. And so I was very happy to chip in, and a lot of people were.
So is David Neff in chat right now? Because he just asked if anybody wants to do a stream on his channel tonight.
I know he was earlier.
I think we ought to all go on his channel tonight.
Has Andrew Cummings started school yet?
I don't know.
Yeah, yes, I think he did, yes.
Well, good.
Yeah, he did quietly. He was very quiet about it.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay,
Anyway.
I think we've beaten a record. It's gone how many? 27 minutes, and we're just now getting a request for Kent Hovind for Dr. Josh to do. Yeah. So it's going to plague you. It's going to plague you the rest of your life. Just
he's old for a walk. Leave the man alone.
Rich Little used to have to do Richard Nixon.
We lost him.
Oh, you left.
Oh gosh, thanks a lot, Ian.
Yeah, got Ian. Way to buzzkill, Ian. Wow.
I'm hoping that was a coincidence.
I don't know.
It was a very funny coincidence.
Yeah. Well, as soon as we said that, Hovind's band of lawyers and hitmen probably picked him up. And they're coming for you, AJ. They've been calling me, asking me questions.
Yeah.
That
wouldn't surprise me.
We've got Kent himself coming in. All right.
It's Hovind.
Oh, I see.
It's Hovind.
Yeah, I just want to say thank you, everybody, for such a warm welcome. I went on a stream earlier today and talked with a Muslim, and I thought that was a real joy, right? Because it's just like talking to an atheist. Okay, yeah, I'm here to help. So what can I do for you guys today? Let's picture my wife.
Which
I
one?
don't know why you guys are laughing. I think I guess if I were on my way to hell, I'd probably chuckle it up too. Okay.
Are you still taking your vitamin B17?
Hey, you guys are gonna have to say it one at a time, okay? Because I'm not terribly bright. Okay, it's hard to pick out from the different voices, okay? Particularly the ones that are going off my head.
Yeah, we're trying to figure out where to order vitamin B17 from you. So I think that was the question.
I was just wondering how
it's probably one of those silly atheist questions that if you guys just stop believing in evolution, you probably solve all your problems, okay? Because evolution's dumb. And you have to hold that water rains down on otters, okay?
Will it cure cancer? If I stop believing in evolution, will it cure cancer?
Well, I mean, obviously, if you put your faith in Jesus Christ, anything's possible. I mean, there was a young fella on the YouTube yesterday. I believe his name was the preacher, and I might not agree with everything that he said, but one of the things that we know is that Jesus Christ is the one that gives you money. So yeah, I think I get a lot of money from Jesus Christ, and that young fella did. So yeah, I think it's really important to recognize. But listen, fellas, I got to run. I hear my wife calling. This picture of her here. And I got to skedaddle. But listen, repent and come to Jesus Christ and stop believing in that stupid lie, evolution. Okay, I'm here to help.
Thanks for dropping in.
Wow.
Good.
What timing? What timing? Just when we lose Dr. Josh, Kent happens to show up.
Yeah, I've never seen them in the same place at the same time. That's kind of weird. I guess they're afraid of each other.
Maybe.
Yep.
I think so.
Yep.
That has to be it.
Oh man, that is just. How does he do that? Just I don't know. How does he channel them like that? I don't know. Anyway.
Yeah. I don't know. You'd have to ask him.
I really like how he pronounces the word water. I cannot do it even.
Twitter.
Yep. Dr. Josh, you missed him. You missed Ken.
Yep, you missed him. I was on Twitter last night. And it confuses me.
Yep.
Were you selling otter water?
I was selling water on Twitter. Yes, the Twitter confuses me. I don't know why. So, Danny, I was listening to you talk about dualism last night, or pains and fingers or something.
Yeah.
With immutable. That was pretty stressful.
Why would you bring it up if it was stressful?
Oh, well.
You like stressing yourself out?
That's a good point.
Always
Danny.
the philosopher, Danny. Always the
You
philosopher.
see, look, I just want to, for the record, people mention these things to me. Okay, I don't come in here and antagonize in terms of
I know. Well, okay, like when you stub your toe, like I stubbed my toe on a weight yesterday when I was talking to Scott and David, and I was yelling, fuck, fuck, fuck. So when something is really stressful, you like to express it verbally.
You said something I disagree with. Girl.
Yeah, grr. Yeah. Anyway, it was interesting. And then later on, there was a talk with some strange Christian guy. What was his name?
Yeah, that guy conceded that God was good within 10 minutes.
He did what now?
What?
Are you talking about the Christian guy? The
problem of evil. He conceded that God was good, or
God, he didn't know whether God was good or not.
Oh,
right.
I thought he admitted that God was good, which I think, obviously, but
well, it was so weird because the problem of evil is like the whole issue is that given that God is good, why do we see all these crappy things? And then in the middle, after 5 minutes, he said something like, well, I don't know. God might be able to do something evil. And I'm just like, what's the problem then?
I mean, he created
and
evil.
he did a response video, and although I'm glad that he tried. It wasn't any good.
Oh, what did he say?
He said
he
that
has a YouTube site.
Yeah, it's 700 subscribers, but I mean, we already went over it actually. A lot of Christians will shift the discussion on okay, well, how do you account for good or evil? Are you just talking about what you like or don't like? But the whole problem is that it's an internal critique. Christianity itself affirms evil, and that's the sense of evil that we're talking about. We're not talking about oh, I think there's something wrong with what happened here or there, therefore God doesn't exist. It's saying that, hey, Christianity affirms that these things are wrong or evil, and that's and there's an internal issue given that. So it doesn't matter what I think good or evil is, or what I think good or evil is defined as. It's just that they posit evil, and that's the problem.
Yeah, but they have to misdirect.
Yeah, I mean, it's just crazy.
Is it like a fallacy? I think like the closest thing that comes to mind is a red herring, but I don't know if that's probably.
I think it's more like tu quo qui, or maybe something
tu
similar.
quo qui is like saying
you're
hypocritical. You're being hypocritical, but I think it is something like a tu quo qui is a kind of red herring.
Yeah.
So I mean, a lot of these, the fallacies aren't really codified, like as formally as you would think, but
they're informal fallacies. So
sometimes creationists they'll blend fallacies together, so it's like I can't even sure which one.
Multi-purpose
combo times 3.
Combo.
Yeah, I was just thinking.
Does anybody have a link to this guy's website or know the name of it?
I have it for you. Speed, you see, I'm here for you. Everyone was like not doing anything. I got you right here.
Everybody wins.
But no, but what was really annoyed him, because I went actually really aggressive on him. The reason why I was aggressive on him is because he was like saying, "Oh, these younger creationists, they don't have any good arguments. They're like, being, stupid or something like that." And I'm just like, okay, so you can do better. Let's see. It's just like saying like, it's like a flat earther criticizing, I don't know. What are some other
anti-vaxxers?
Yeah, it's like a flat earther. I'm like, what? You accept flat Earth, man? Like,
wait, are you saying the Earth isn't flat?
Yeah, well, it's flat in a sense.
I mean,
my country is pretty flat.
My driveway is flat.
If you look out at the horizon, it seems like it's flat. That would be a logical observation to make. But you need more information than that, But a lot of flat Earth videos I've watched, their proof is just like, look at this picture of the sea, the horizon at the ocean. And it's like that's not enough data. Like, why don't you watch a ship going over the horizon and see if it goes top to bottom or bottom up? Like it's always going to go the same way.
Those ships actually sunk.
Oh, okay.
That's why they went down. Yeah. Everybody knows if you go over that, if you go too far, your ship sinks, and they've known that for a long time.
Well, it's because you go over the edge.
Yeah, since ancient times. So we know that. You can't fool me. I ain't going over there. Okay, I got the guy. Cool, thanks.
Alpha Centaurian.
He's a nice guy, though. I think, and I was being very aggressive. And he took it very well. He let me speak. I interrupted him, and he let me interject. So he wasn't a bad interlocutor, or anything. He's just kind of,
Yeah, you were asking him for an argument for why he believes what he believes.
He was saying
that was a little unfair.
well, he was saying that younger creationists have terrible arguments, and so him being a Catholic, I was like, okay. Well, let's hear your argument, right? Like as if he could do better.
His views don't seem to match up to his subscriber number. But, I hate it how YouTube has auto-playing videos when you click on someone's channel. I took that off of my channel.
I know.
I think that's annoying.
That is annoying.
So Danny, you were actually doing the tu quo fallacy against him. Like, he's saying creationists are stupid, but they're like, oh, are you not stupid? just kidding.
So somebody was talking about what Catholics believe, and somebody was pushing back on it. What the hell was it?
Oh, with the praying to Mary thing? Like a lot of Protestants say, oh, well, Catholics pray to Mary, but they don't talk that way. They say something else. They call it on that same stream?
Yeah, it was about Catholics, you can go to heaven even if you're an atheist.
Oh yeah, something. Yeah, he said that you don't have to believe in any of the Christian doctrine to go to heaven. And I said, wait, but the traditional Catholic doctrine is that you need to have faith and good works. And he's like, no. And then I didn't want to argue about that.
I actually talked to a Catholic priest that pretty much believed that.
I actually believed the same thing when I was Catholic. Like I had a very naive view of the doctrine. Like we weren't really strict doctrine. believers. Like we knew the stories and the.
But what's Orthodox?
yeah.
Like do y'all know the Orthodox view?
Not really.
I don't know.
Like,
There's-
as I
there's a-
said
well-
before, like it was almost a secular way of religiosity. Like we knew, of course, we knew the stories and we knew Jesus and such, but we didn't really like. Like I am using the word Puritan, but maybe an inappropriate term. But I will describe. We weren't as Puritan as like the typical Protestants.
Yeah.
What did you think?
Okay, this is what the wiki says. They're quoting the Catechism, and it states the phrase "outside the church there is no salvation." Means, if put in positive terms, that all salvation comes from Christ, the head, through the church, which is the body, and it is not aimed at those who, through no fault of their own, do not know Christ and His church. So I think that includes like those, indigenous people that never even heard. But I think all of you guys are pretty much damned according to this.
Yeah, back when I was like in my 20s, I talked to this really old Catholic priest who had actually been out to the Vatican and stuff like that, and he was a pretty high up there priest, right? And he was basically telling. I kind of thought he was an atheist by the end of the conversation, or at least he matched my view of what an atheist is. But he had a whole different view on this belief thing, and it was very interesting, and what God really was, and what you had to believe in, and what you didn't have to believe in, and all that stuff. So, I mean, there are some, like when you talk to Catholic priests, you frequently get a very different view of than you were expecting. Is my experience, and I've talked to a few of them.
You wonder how many. This kind of reminds me of like certain philosophers or priests that kind of go through the motions as to not get into societal issues or social issues. Like Descartes, first of all, his stuff was banned by the Catholic Church. All his writings were, but he was a proclaimed theist. But when you read his writings, he like flirts with like certain heretical views or flirts with like a conception of God. I don't really recall exactly what it was, but then quickly goes back, well, that would be false. Like, I'm just talking hypothetically. And so it leads you to believe, that some of these philosophers might have just been Christian or theist in title as to not get in trouble culturally, right? So who knows, whether Descartes was actually a Catholic or a Christian, he had to be one, given the danger.
Yep. And what's his name? Spinoza. He was kind of like in the same kind of bind, I think.
Yeah.
And so he was, he has philosophy, but he had to be very, very careful how far he went with it.
And you just wonder what their actual beliefs were, about these things.
Right. Yep. And Kafai goes on about that all the time. He's found all these little Spinoza clips and quotes that indicate that he was, that he wasn't secular.
I think it was similar to being like gay people always existed, but you never heard of them from those times because.
Right.
Yeah.
Yep. Yeah, like I had a whole bunch of gay people in my class, but I didn't hear about it until my 20th class reunion. And then it was like, oh, that makes sense. It's like, shit. Had all these friends that were gay that were so afraid to talk about it back in the 1960s, it was like, yeah, same thing. I think things are better today, aren't they? Where are they? Maybe for half of the United States, but not the half where you live, Danny. I don't know.
New Orleans is pretty liberal.
Is it?
Yeah.
Like Minneapolis is too. It's a liberal lakes, they call it. And the rest of the rural Minnesota is still a little Trumpy.
Well, but there's that, and we have. I mean, how do I frame this without getting in trouble? Like, I think the Black community is like a little above average homophobic, but for non-religious reasons. That's really interesting. But
never noticed that.
Yeah. it's kind of subtle. It's getting better though. I don't know. I mean, I can't really like support that with like a study, but people that
Like,
live here.
what specific way? Maybe like I don't know, like why are they? Or of course, I know you are not saying that all of them are homophobic, but in what specific way are you saying that the culture is generally?
Well, they're very traditional, but they're not very religious, and they're not like devout religious people. But religion is very important to them in terms of like the Sunday morning, I'm trying to depict it. I mean, I don't know. I thought this was like sort of more like commonly known, but I think I'm not ready to support that claim.
It'd probably vary by cultures. There's different areas, different cultures that are more into the whole He-Man thing or whatever. I don't know. I'm not sure.
Well, He-Man? Oh, the show? Or the old show?
Yeah, like
the new show?
Yeah, the show He-Man. Oh, there's a new He-Man?
Yeah, like a Netflix. It's a new series of He-Man.
Yeah.
Actually, I like that.
Really?
That was the old He-Man and also the old She-Ra, and there was a new She-Ra by a few years ago, and then now this year there was like a new He-Man series.
Is it animated or is it?
Yeah, it's animated. Yes.
Oh, that's too bad. I wish they'd kind of like turn that. That would be interesting to turn that one into a.
It's on Netflix.
Yeah, listen to this. This is from the Wikipedia. So I just was. It looks like my intuitions are like somewhat like, but Black community. Let me put the link. Can you put the link in there? That way people know that I'm not reading off anything weird. Okay, so Black community in the United States. It's been asserted that I'm requoting. It's been asserted that the African American community is largely homophobic. Reasons for this, including the image young Black males are expected to convey in the public sphere. You see, I get that with my students.
Yeah, that makes sense.
That homosexuality is seen as antithetical to being Black in the African American community, and the association of the African American community within the church in the United States. African Americans disagree with LGBT civil liberties more than their white counterparts. Some theorize this is because of conservative churches' role in advocating for African American civil liberties, and that this advocacy has expanded into the LGBT population. But y'all can continue to read that. I'm not going to read the whole thing. I'm just saying that I've seen this too, right? I was more speaking anecdotally. Just it seems very, very obvious. Like you have kids in the hallway. I hear them talk. And there seems to be a difference in my experience, but it seems like it's backed up by some kind of study.
That's kind of way the community that I was raised in was like that.
Yeah, but it's nothing like they don't think that like homosexuality is like a sin. That's not how they think, right? It's like something.
No, it wasn't like that. It was just this whole like if you were the kind of male that I was back in high school, you didn't do well in the culture, basically. So I had to be, and in fact, I had to start drinking, put a leather jacket on, and start hanging around with really bad people to counteract the fact that I was really into science when I was in second and third grade. And so I had to hide the fact that I actually liked science. That was the whole culture, basically from the 60s. So I actually had to don a leather jacket and change my image in order to fit in, because I was being ostracized or whatever, because I was considered effeminate because of what because of what I liked, right? Because of the way I was. And because I wasn't the kind to go around bully people or fucking beat people up. Just shit like that. I also learned to be a really, really fast sprinter as a result, because I'd frequently open my mouth at the wrong time and have to run away.
You see, what I've noticed too, also think about hip hop and the lyrics anti-gay, homophobic, as far as like sus, that comes from, being gay. But what I've noticed too is that it's only really there when someone identifies as straight, and it really gets at them when you within like Black males, it really gets at them if you kind of question their straightness. But what I've noticed is that when a gay person comes out, right, then they don't touch them, right? They kind of leave them alone. it's like this weird dynamic of like using gayness as a weapon towards people that identify as straight. You know, those slurs and whatnot.
Shit, my stream's probably going to get taken down because of this conversation.
No. I think about all those other servers, or what do you call it? Channels, conservative channels.
Yep. Anyway, what else is happening in the world? So let's see. That preacher guy, I got to go watch that on the Rage. I did not catch any of that. So he was kind of like batshit crazy.
Yeah, pretty much.
What kind of crazy was he? What was he?
I don't
Can you
know.
put it in a thumbnail for me, or basically?
Well, just the whole fact of that he can't sin is just.
Okay. He can't. So anything he does is okay because he accepts
Exactly.
Jesus.
Yeah, and
Yeah,
it's
that-
like raping and like everything. I mean, he didn't. I'm trying to.
That's
think
one of the
how
things that.
Yeah, it was kind of crazy. Like he was asked, like, okay, well, what kind of law do you follow? Do you follow, biblical law, or do you follow? And he said, I follow man's law. And then, so that was kind of an interesting thing. And then there was, I'm trying to think of the question that came up right after that. That was good. That he kind of cornered him on, because he said, okay, you follow. You follow man's law, but then I'm trying to think of the question and I can't think of it offhand. But yeah, it's just, he's off his rocker, the guy, I think. Just the way he follows the Bible. And he was, the good thing about it is Rage did a good thing is he brought on Oz. And of course, Oz was raised in
Yep.
very religious family, so he's very knowledgeable of the Bible. So
Yeah.
the two of them went at it on Bible verses. So anytime the preacher come up with some sort of crazy, following, Oz would ask him, okay, well, what verse is that in the Bible? And then they read the verse and they started critiquing what the verse says, and so it was pretty crazy. Just his view was really off the wall.
Yeah.
The whole phrase "man's law." Am I committing a sin when I stop at a four-way stop sign and let the guy on my right go first? Is that, what does he mean?
This is a question to ask the Pope.
Yeah, I don't know. Yeah, I mean, basically, if he commits a rape, then he's going to go to jail. In other words, basically, that's all.
Well, man's law is, usually it depends on where you're at, but is against rape, of some form. So,
well, that was kind of concerning.
Am I committing a sin if I jaywalk? Is that what it is? If man's law is, I don't know. I don't know what's the difference between man's law or whatever.
Well, nothing
Like
is a sin
institutional
for
law?
him, though. He does not sin, no matter what he does.
Well, that's because he's a believer.
Right.
Yeah.
He's a true Christian.
That's a little more extreme than the thing where you commit a sin, or you sin and then you go and accept Jesus or do a confession or something and become absolved. Then you go do it again. Then you get absolved again and do it again, absolved again. That always concerned me, sort of. I mean, you got to do a little bit more than that, I think. Right? I mean, you have to basically make reparations. You have to,
American evangelicals not too big on reparations. I don't mean reparations for slavery. I mean, you just don't hear it as part of their ethic. It's just good. It's all forgiven by Jesus, and that's it. They never think about, well, what kind of responsibility do you have to the people you've hurt all your life, or whatever. So that's maybe something to ask about.
Yeah. Isn't there anything in the Bible about you have to basically repair the damage that you've done, and you have to move forward and basically never do it again or try to change your behavior? I mean, what kind of biblical passages are there around this forgiveness thing?
Yeah.
Are there passages about that? About how you change.
I
rather
don't know.
than
Like
just-
I think like if I maybe able to say this, like I think it's more like you need to have some kind of redemption. If you did something better, you need to have some form of redemption to counterbalance the act of evil, so to speak. Like for example, the original sin was redeemed by the sacrifice of Jesus, for example, like that. But I may be wrong on that one.
Yeah, but I mean, you have to do a little more than say a bunch of Hail Marys if you're a serial killer and you come to Jesus, right? I mean, is that all you have to do is come to Jesus and then everything's cool after that until your next kill?
It depends on the denomination, I think. Like some will say if you're born again, then all your sins will be forgiven.
Yeah, it seems like they concentrate more on the believing in Jesus than they do in the part about changing your behavior and your life.
The ethical responsibility you have towards people that you wronged in the past.
Yeah, and making restitution, that sort of thing.
Yeah,
wherever you can.
Yep.
But you would think there'd be a lot of biblical passages about that. You think there'd be whole books devoted to it, right?
I'm trying to think of examples, but I'm having a hard time bringing them to mind. Somebody else might have some ideas, like maybe some of our storm chasers.
And there are Old Testament laws that says, like, if you damage a property of someone else, then you have to repay that property. For example,
that's true. Yeah. That's true.
Yeah,
eye for an eye.
That's more like what I said previously. Like, you have to redeem yourself. Like, if you did something evil to somebody else, then something bad must happen to you as a punishment to counteract the evil. Like an eye for an eye doesn't make much sense to me. Like I adhere to more of a how do you call it again?
Because sometimes I prefer an eye for two eyes.
Like I'm not for retribution as a form of justice. I'm more of a restorative justice.
Yeah.
With the laws in the Old Testament, it's kind of assumed that that's one of the things that the priests or the whatever court system for justice or whatever they had would be taking care of those things, which is fine. But just because I go to prison for punching somebody in the face or assault and battery or whatever doesn't mean that I have made restitution to the person I wronged. Even if the state or the society is okay with what punishment I've taken and everything, that doesn't mean necessarily that my personal relationship with that person does not, even if they're a stranger, does not need to have some sort of restitution or reparation.
Yeah.
What do they call it when a Catholic goes to confession and penance? Some sort of penance to do.
Penance, yeah.
That is concrete and in this world real.
Yep.
12-step programs, as much shit as they get, they have about 1/4 of the steps are involved in that whole restitution thing. Basically, making reparations, and there's a whole bunch of stuff about how you do it. And you don't like if you have some resentment towards somebody and they did something to you and you did something back to them, you go out and you don't talk about what they did to you. You only deal with what you did to them, and you make restitution for that, and you leave it there, and then you promise to not be that way in the future. You do your very best to change who you are so that it doesn't happen again. And there's a whole, it's a whole process.
And it's also why I'm against the death penalty.
Yeah, well, they can't make restitution if they're dead.
Yeah.
Well, I'm against the death penalty except when I'm not.
Yeah. There are some times when I'm not.
Yeah,
there are some cases. Some cases when we all just want to kill.
I'm only against the death penalty in case of self-defense, which wouldn't be actually death penalty at all. So yeah.
Yeah, we'll have to go back and listen to. I'll go back and watch Rage's when SFT and LPP got on there to see if there's anything interesting in that part of the stream because I didn't see any of that.
Yeah. How long was the stream?
What, like 7 hours?
7 hours.
Well, the whole thing, yeah.
Sounds kind of epic.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, the whole YouTube's is resonating with it today. Still,
Yeah.
Did
Well,
I
guess LPP and SFT jumped on and argued some biblical stuff with the preacher for a little bit.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Did I link that already, or have I? No, I don't think I got it in the description. I'll put it in the description. Grr Mania. Where is Grr Mania? Is he all tired out from streaming so much?
Yeah, he left a little while ago.
Yeah, he might have need to go out and get some more beer for later tonight or something.
Yeah, so he do another stream.
Yeah,
probably. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was telling Grr, I guess it was yesterday. His streams are basically divided into two sections: pre-beer and post-beer, and
he has some incredibly interesting streams. He manages to gather the right people to create some stuff.
Yeah.
I guess it's just his easygoing attitude.
Yeah. But yeah, there has to be something on there with Rage. If Rage was agreeing with LPP and SFT somewhere in that stream, right, there has to be something interesting in there. If they're all agreeing. You know?
Let's check it out.
Yeah.
Anyway.
Yeah.
I'm staring at a paper called The Dynamic Nature of the Nuclear Envelope. And I'm sure that nobody gives a fuck but me.
You're going to have to make it interesting.
I could make it interesting. Fairly dynamic. Anyway.
Oh, Danny, maybe you are interested in this book, but I found actually it's an old article, but maybe not old by this research standard. Like I am looking up the black and white differences in attitudes towards homosexuality, and it says that the differences aren't that great actually between the two. It's from 2003 and looked at many different reports from prior to that point, but maybe it's outdated. I don't know. Oh, you're muted, Danny.
As he should be.
You're still muted.
Yeah, I think I'm fine with being wrong about all of that. I just didn't want people to think that I was making that up.
Yeah.
Yeah. It does say, like in the abstract, it does say that once religious and educational differences are controlled, blacks remain more disapproving of homosexuality, but are moderately more supportive of gay civil liberties and market.
Yeah, that seems true. I think it's not like a political thing for them, right?
They aren't saying that being gay should be illegal and being gay married.
Yeah. Whereas the evangelicals
it's more of an icky reaction, maybe. Like
it's a manly. It's like a manly thing.
Yeah,
right? They're a man's man type thing, right?
Yeah, wasn't there a thing about some cultures having like an aversion toward people doing well in school and like learning shit and studying?
It's called America.
It's called America, I guess. Yeah. Yep. That's the kind of culture I grew up in.
Well, in that sense, I'm homophobic too because I refuse to watch gay porn.
Well, but you don't find it threatening,
No, not threatening, but just like
not particularly appealing.
Like, if you show me gay porn, I will run away. Like I don't know.
Oh, do you find it gross?
Yeah.
Oh, that's so funny.
I
love finding people like you.
It's an irrational thing, maybe.
Actually, I don't know. I'm kind of weird, but go ahead. I don't like lesbian stuff. I really think it's wrong to me.
Really?
Yeah, it's just not any good.
I don't mind lesbian stuff, but
it's not like I'm saying that gay people shouldn't have sex. Like my brother is gay and he has a boyfriend, and I'm fine with them having sex but I don't want to watch it. That's just it.
I'm just saying that like I really like the dominant submissive dynamic, and with lesbians I just have a harder time construing a woman as dominant. I can't. It's just not right to me. It's just I don't know how to explain it. Like it really bothers me. And then same with like two masculine men. That's wrong to me.
Yeah, it's like well, I think if you swing real far on the heterosexual scale, you're going to have some aversion to any of that. Yeah. Like if a guy comes up and hugs me, if I feel whiskers on my face, I freak the fuck out. And I don't particularly care for anybody hugging me, you know, man or woman, but the whiskers thing kind of gets me. But then I want to be. Yeah.
I think one of the best analogies I can think of is like pineapple on pizza. Like, eat your pineapple on pizza, but I don't want to eat it. I don't want to eat it.
And some people like it, and that's okay. Yeah. It's all right. Yeah.
And I won't be offended. I won't be offended if you eat pizza in front of me. I don't ask me to take a bite of your pineapple on pizza. So.
Yeah. But on the other hand, strongly masculine heterosexual guys that are, I prefer talking to gay guys. Actually, I don't know. I just don't get along. I don't get along with a lot of really strongly masculine guys for some reason. Never have. Never found them interesting. I don't know. How about those Dodgers or whatever the fuck they like to talk about?
Yeah. But there's also this cultural stigma of like gay people were used to be like considered a threat of rapists. Like especially in the past, like if you were gay, you were like seen as especially from the male perspective. Like they say, "Oh, are you going to rape me?" Like that reaction was considered to be normal. Like
one of the one of the reasons why I was actually a rather dysfunctional gay was that I was really grossed out by semen, even my own. So that you don't understand how much that causes issues when you go for a hookup. Like you're just like they're like so confused.
This channel does not condone something. I'm not sure what it is that we don't condone, but.
I just appreciate
moving on.
Bashing sailors.
You're having your first time with somebody you love, and your partner suddenly says "ill."
That happened to one of my hookups. Is that I almost threw up.
Oh my god!
I had to run to the bathroom, and I was like gagging in the sink, and I realized I can't do this.
Let me read a few paragraphs from the dynamic nature of the nuclear envelope.
I just had a sad event. A gay member of my family who was married. It was a married couple just passed away just this past week. So yeah, that was kind of a sad thing. But
someone also pointed out in the chat that there are like the quote bears among the gay people, like the more masculine type of gay people, which are called bears as a nickname. Like, of course, the stereotypical gay is like the feminine, like, oh my gosh, like, but there are, of course, like very, very masculine gay people as well.
Yeah, I think there's a difference between masculine, dominant, and like straight acting. I think there's like the straight acting, I guess, when I think of masculine, I guess maybe I think more dominant or hairy and, muscles and stuff, but then there's like straight acting and you don't need any of that. But it's hard to find it was hard for me to find a lot of straight acting gays. Those were pretty rare for me.
So someone says that bears are not necessarily masculine. Like, I'm not very knowledgeable on the terminology there.
Okay.
Is it more
it looks like you are.
Is it more common to have within the couples, like to have a masculine and a feminine? That's probably more common in gay relationships. You think having like a masculine and a more feminine couple? Is that more
Mhm.
common, or is
I
it
don't
not
know.
so much?
Not, I mean, sometimes, I mean, like a lot of cases, you do get really two feminine gay guys together. It is
Yeah.
probably more rare to get two big, like muscle, hairy guys together, but
Right. Yeah.
I don't see that as often. But I mean, I do see it. So, but I like the traditional like sub, like kind of twink with like some kind of like jock. Like that's the best case scenario.
Yeah.
I think I figured out about 5 or 10 years. Very recently, I figured out there are a lot of different kinds of people, and that's interesting to me. It's a spectrum. I mean, there's a hell of a spectrum of people, and I don't know. Kind of hard to put labels on things.
Yeah, it only
You know.
helps. It doesn't really. I don't know if it tracks anything real. It just kind of helps to talk about it sometimes.
It's also like there's also a running joke that I find really funny. It's like, oh, there are like to the conservatives there are only two genders: men or male and political.
Yep. How about those nuclear envelopes?
Like it's like and also the two sexual orientations, straight and political. Like if there is a straight couple in a kids show, like, oh no, that's just normal. But when there's a gay couple in a kids show, ooh, yeah, you cannot do that. Like it's a
Danny,
it's
did
a
you ever
gay
go?
agenda.
Did you ever go to like the drag shows,
Me?
stuff like that? Yeah.
I went
Have you
to
ever-
1 or 2 in New York City. A guy took me,
Yeah.
and that was the first time that. Well, I'm gonna change. I was about to change the subject. Never mind. But yeah, the answer is yes.
The funny thing is the couple that I was referring to, the gentleman that just passed away, they were a couple, and they were a couple, in my family for many, many years. And the more feminine of the group was did the drag shows,
Oh, okay.
at clubs and stuff. And I was always told, oh, you got to come. Many of my family members, women, straight women and stuff, went to his shows. And actually, from what I heard, they were actually really good, but I never took the time to go to one.
You don't regret it, do you?
No, well, a little bit, yeah. I actually wished I did take the time to go to one because I heard they were good. So, I wanted to at least go and support him because he was he's the one that's still alive, and he's a great guy, real nice guy. And from what I hear, his shows were great. So I did actually want to go and support that, So, and I never did, but I don't. As a matter of fact, I don't even think he does them anymore. He did them when he was younger. He's getting up there in age now, so as far as I know, I don't think he does them anymore.
We've got an interesting bar in Minneapolis called the Gay 90s. That is a trip to go to, and kind of fun. But anyway, and I think it's kind of like famous in at least the Midwest. But anyway.
Yeah, I went to the bar that we went to was at Hell's Kitchen, which is pretty famous for like those gay bars.
Yeah.
Drag.
Gay 90s has been around for, Christ, a hell of a long time. Like,
well, wasn't the Hell's Kitchen like a Gordon Ramsay show?
Yeah, there's a strip on in New York and Manhattan called Hell's Kitchen, and there's a lot of bars there.
There might be some copyright issues.
I don't know what comes from what, but
yeah. Like I would imagine that Gordon Ramsay wouldn't be very happy. Like, oh, they took the name. But anyway, yeah.
It might be informally called that, I'm not so sure.
Anyone ever heard of First Avenue 7th Street Entry Bar in Minneapolis?
No,
I have not heard of it.
Yeah, well, you heard of Purple Rain, Prince's movie?
Yep.
Yes.
Okay, that's where it was shot. That's where it was filmed, and that's where Prince used to perform back in the day. And I guess like most rock bands consider it a rite of passage to perform once there. And there's a lot of really good bands there, but that is really incredible. And they have something called Danceteria, which is like fog and lights and just packed with people, and And it's probably it's really cool to go to because you can just go dance by yourself or whatever, dance with guys, whatever. It's awesome. And they have an amazing Halloween show with people that dress up in the most amazing costumes. Like there was a guy with a pinhead costume, and it was like if somebody had bumped into him, it probably would have killed him. Anyway, famous bars in Minneapolis. Subject change.
Yep.
Can we shoot her in the head?
I have nothing else to talk about.
Yep.
I was just curious. Then, have you maybe you haven't had the time to watch the videos about
no, I had the time, but I've been relaxing because
I don't mind. Like, I may be curious if you have anything to say about that. But
I will watch it before I interview Nicholson. Yeah. So I don't know. Speed, are you aware of that?
What's that?
I'm interviewing the Dr. Daniel J. Nicholson.
Yeah, what day is that?
I think sometime the end of the month, maybe the 26th. I thought it was something.
I thought I saw the 24th.
Okay. Yeah, what that date? Whatever. Scott's probably more of a reliable source.
Yeah, that's good. That's going to be pretty good. Most of his articles are about pushing back on the cell as a machine and things like that, and that's kind of
we're gonna talk about that because I have some stuff to say about that.
And you should mention that we reviewed a few of his papers on our channel.
You want me to refer? I'll do that for you.
Yeah, give us a plug because maybe he'll stop over and talk to us about some of this stuff. Because he's a pretty interesting guy. Very, very.
But do you think that the cell is a machine, or do you have just like specific points?
I think there's just a problem with it's a general point. There's not anything. It's what are the necessary and sufficient conditions for saying X is analogous to Y. Yeah. So that's just a problem in itself. So is a Honda Accord like a Honda Civic? Well, it seems like there's not a fact of the matter about that. It seems like depends on your goal. Like if you're talking about reliability, there is, it's like Honda Accord is like a Civic. But if you're talking about price, they're not like each other, right? Or maybe you might think, you might have different construals about what's expensive or what's cheap or what trim levels or what. And then suddenly it just doesn't seem like all that talk about analogy is just not I guess philosophically substantive.
Yeah. Well, if I may push back, maybe you can more discuss this in more detail with him. But I think his point is not like about the analogy. It's more like the machine concept of a cell gives misimpressions about how biology actually works. Like, we think that the cell, the cell operates on a computer code like the DNA, but of course it's not really like that. And also proteins are machines, but instead no, they are more stochastic. Like they are like molten globules that interact in stochastic ways with the surroundings.
I'm going to read this paper before.
One of his points was, that animation they always show with the microtubules, and you have the little man walking on it.
Oh yeah, that's a good one.
Okay, he explained how that paradigm can be a problem because there's some evidence that it doesn't quite work that way. Right. That it's more of a
it's more of a Brownian ratchet.
Yeah, and there's another viable mechanism that doesn't look anything like that, and
that's called the Brownian ratchet. Like it's like like in the molecular world, you have something called Brownian motion. It's like a stochastic motion of molecules across within some distance. And the Brownian ratchet model says that the system takes advantage of that to direct motion within the biology. Yeah. It's completely different than what we are.
Yeah, it's more saltatory.
At our scale, yeah.
What would Nicholson say? Would he have sent to the proposition that that machines are like cells?
I think.
I think maybe I'm misrepresenting his position. You can of course also.
I'm looking while I'm listening.
I think he tackles that. he tackles the specific issues, like does the cell behave in this specific way?
Yeah.
That's often used in comparison to the machine. Like, for example, does the cell work on a program, a predetermined program, and it doesn't.
Yeah,
There's a sense where it makes sense to talk about that. Like if you want to explain the mechanism of some of these biochemical pathways, it makes sense to talk that way. But then if you get stuck on it, you may miss some really important thing about what's really going on. And like inside the cell, like you have proteins, and within the radius of one protein, you'll have another protein, and water behaves like a really sticky, syrupy substance. Yeah. Right. And so when you have this certain imagination of a cell based on some diagram in a biology machine, you may be missing the point, and you may miss some reality. And his reality, like one of his examples, is that we may have that microtubule thing quite wrong, that it may be this entirely different mechanism.
Like you might be thinking that the motor protein is actually pushing or pulling things through water. But at the scale, as you said, at the scale, water is very viscous. It's like walking through water. It's like walking through a hurricane or molasses. Like it's really it's a very unrealistic thing to say that the motor protein is actively pushing things around. But it's more like the system is taking advantage of the stochasticity in the system, the Brownian motion, and it uses that Brownian motion to direct movement.
It's okay to have a metaphor, but you have to be willing to, or a metaphor and an analogy, but you have to be willing to let it go and think in a different way about the system in order to try to get into it. And I do that all the time with the cell. I always try to imagine, okay, what is really happening here? What's really happening? And you go look into it and you find out, well, it's almost impossible to visualize in terms of macro objects that we're used to. And the thing is, we just got to stop. I mean, we humans see everything as, machines and tools and ready to hand things, right? Yeah.
Speed.
What?
Proteins are machines, and that proves God, man. You just gotta learn to live with that.
I'm sorry.
Cells are machines, and they prove God.
I have been corrected. Thank you, my demonic hyena. I'm putting you in the back room now.
That's actually an interesting review article on like the ribosome. It's often when people say about machines in biology, the ribosome is like one of the biggest examples of a machine in biology. But that's actually an interesting review article that actually pushes against that machine.
I'm looking for it on JSTOR for this paper, and it's not on there.
Which one?
Is the cell really a machine?
Oh, I've got it.
I think you may be looking at the cell does not equal machine, and does not equal actually the symbol. Does not.
I'll find it for you, Danny.
Equals slash.
You got it.
You got it.
No. I want it. Is it okay? Where is it? Oh, that's Nest.
Let's see. Where the hell is he?
I thought I had it, but apparently no. I was going to read it before.
It should be under Nicholson there, Speed.
Actually, it's under uploaded.
Oh.
I got so many goddamn papers. Let's see here. Nicholson is a 2013. Okay, organisms versus machines. So we got, let's see, on the nature of normativity. We got, is a cell really a machine? So let's see if I can find a link for you.
If not, you can email it to me if that's easier.
Do you want me to email you the paper?
Whatever's easier for you.
Okay, I'll do that for you.
Okay.
Anyway, I'd like to shoot it in the head, guys. What the hell? It's Friday. Let's get off early and let's David Neff might do a stream.
In case, I have the paper in front of me. Like if you want to stay around after the show, I can show it to you. Yeah.
You have the same paper I'm asking for?
Oh no, not different paper. Maybe okay. I can also give you that. But
yeah, give
anyway.
it to me. Because I don't really know that much about him other than the little things I've read in some of his work. But I was going to.
We read that paper, Danny, like a 3-part thing or whatever. I don't know if you can, if it would be, it'd probably be easier for you to.
Okay.
It might be helpful. Anyway.
You see, the problem is I don't want to spend 2 hours with him, so I'm have to like read everything, at least go through his papers, and then kind of decide, what I want to do, because he's done a lot of stuff.
Okay, you got it. I sent it to you.
Yeah, thanks.
Oh, George Bond got back to me. I don't do debates. I'm horrible at it, just like you. Contact SFT, and maybe Professor McQueen might, but make sure you have a title for the debate. Yeah, if I contact SFT, he's going to want to do it on his channel, but that's not quite what I want. So what?
Why don't you want to do it on SFT's channel?
Because I want to do a debate on this channel, and Jason Torn wanted to do it on this channel. So anyway,
look for Limestone Joe?
Yeah.
So
I knew that was going to happen for sure.
Is the cell a machine?
That's not it. Scroll up. It should. It's
Well, I can't scroll up. It's Nestling is sharing.
Oh, it's Nestling. I'm sorry, man.
Okay.
Did you want me to scroll up?
This is the paper that I was referring to when about the ribosome, it pushes against the view of viewing the ribosome as a machine.
Can you show me the title of this paper?
Oh, you can see it on the side here.
No, I can't read that.
Oh, no? How should we think about the ribosome?
Well, why don't you link us to the name of the paper?
Right.
That'd be great.
This is not by Nicholson, but Nicholson actually refers to this paper in one of his YouTube presentations.
Okay, cool.
Right.
Yep. Let's shoot in the head, guys. We can talk backstage for a while.
Sure.
How about that? Okay. We're gonna. Oh, what the hell is happening here? I do not have my shit together. Okay, guys. Goodbye, cruel world. We're ending for the day. And by the way, David Neff or Grr Mania will certainly have a stream tonight. So.